I'm going to make ricotta. I'm quite nervous about doing it because it doesn't always work. I used to make big batches of this every single week for 15 years when I was doing the supper club. And I haven't actually made this in quite a while, but I thought I'd film it anyway. I'm only making a very small batch because if it does work, then I'll post it. The only thing you need really is one of these little ricotta draining pots. That's probably the only unusual thing you need, but you will also need, I've got a temperature probe. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do, I'll run through the ingredients. It's 2 pints of milk. It's these bottles, so it's 1.136 litres of the best possible milk you can get. 600 ml of double cream. How much have I put in here? Oh God, that's a tablespoon of salt, Malden sea salt. I've got in here 40 ml of lemon juice. That was actually just one whole lemon. And in here, I've got 25 ml of good quality apple cider vinegar. Those are the only ingredients. Now it's all about the technique. The first thing you need to do is just rinse your pan out with cold water and knock it out. It just helps for the milk to not stick. Don't know why I'm so nervous about this, but it's probably because I hate to fail. So you're going to pour all of the milk in and all of the cream. I'm actually going to get a bigger pan out. I didn't realise this pan isn't big enough. I'm going to get a bigger pan. Bear with. It's now in a bigger pan. I'm going to sprinkle the salt in, and then it's stirring it occasionally. It's gently heating it up to between 85 and 90 degrees. Please watch it. Don't boil it. You don't want it boiling. It can boil over really easily. So I find it a lot safer to just bring it up to temperature quite slowly. Give it a stir every so often to stop it sticking on the bottom. I'm keeping an eye on my temperature probe. Making ricotta is incredibly rewarding. It is absolutely delicious, and this is such a versatile ingredient. It goes in pasta sauces. You can have it on its own with some balsamic vinegar, spread on bread. But it's in equal measure frustrating. I've had loads of disasters where for some reason it just hasn't separated, but fingers crossed this time. To get an accurate reading, I've actually wrapped my probe around the handle so that it's actually sitting in the milk and not touching the bottom of the pan, which may give us a false reading. I'm also stirring it every so often because when you stir it, it cools down a bit and you've got a more accurate reading. Okay, we're not far off. This is the tricky bit. I'm now at 87 degrees. I've moved my pan to a much lower light and I've dropped the light right down. At this point, I'm going to pour in, this is the lemon juice and vinegar, and I'm going to pour it over the top. From this point on, absolutely no stirring. What we need to do now is maintain it between about 85 and 90 degrees for 20 minutes, which is what will separate the curds from the whey. If for some reason you find it, you see mine's gone down now to 81 because I've put that cold in, so I will turn the heat up. You have to really watch it. If by any chance you find that it goes over 90, don't panic. Just remove it from the heat, let it cool down, but never, ever, ever over 95 because then it really is a lost cause. But yes, it's one of these things that you make when you've got time, when you can just stand and watch it. So I am going to bring this back up. Do not stir. I've brought it back up. It's reading 88 degrees. So I've set a timer for 20 minutes. I'm going to watch that like a hawk and make adjustments where necessary. Have I said it before? No stirring. This is a perfect example. I'm now up to 89 degrees, so I've turned the light off. I'm going to wait till it drops a couple more degrees and then I will light it again. I hope this all makes sense. Okay, this has had 20 minutes maintaining. I'm just going to leave it now in the pan for about an hour, just to let it cool down and rest, and then we will put it into the basket thing. It's only midday. I'm feeling exhausted from the stress of it, but I think it might have worked. What I've got is I've got a colander, because that way everything can just drip out into the sink, and I'm putting my little ricotta basket in the colander, and I'm very carefully now. And I've also got, this is great, it's a like a soup ladle, but it's got holes in. But you can use anything that's got holes in. You could use a spider, what are they called, a spider thing. Look, just use something that you can drain the whey out with. And even if it doesn't drain that well, it's going to drain out in the sink. I'll stop talking and give this a go. So I'm running it over the top very gently, because I don't want to mix it. And I'm going to start pouring it in. It looks like it's worked. So I will go through the whole pan and fill my basket. I might even have enough for 2 baskets, we'll see. I've transferred it to a smaller setup, so you can see it's in a sieve in a bowl, because that's how I'm going to drain it in the fridge. And in fact, as it drains, I'm still going to keep adding. I've still got a little bit left, so I can top this up. It will go down quite a bit as all the moisture comes out, so I think I will have enough just for 1 basket. Is it worth the effort? Yes, I think it is. I really think it is. I know that when the people used to come to the supper club, one of the highlights was the ricotta. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, so once this is done, I will put it in the fridge, probably 3 or 4 hours. It should start setting and dripping, but I actually like to do it until overnight, and then it's nice and hard, and we'll turn it out. It's about 24 hours that this has just been draining in the fridge. I'm going to turn it out, give it a few bashes. Ugh, I can't get hold of it. Oh, there we are. Oh, it's quite a runny one, which is fine. I'm going to store it in this bowl. Okay. I'm just going to carry on scraping it out. I'm just going to taste a little bit. It's going to be gorgeous to cook with. Visually, it's not my best, because sometimes it will come out and it'll be really quite dry and will come out in one piece, but it's also not my worst. And frankly, none of it matters, because it tastes delicious and it's going to be wonderful in food. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to post a film making a frittata with some I was going to say a rude word there, some dollops of ricotta. So I've put it in a bowl. It's going to be stored in the fridge. It'll keep for sort of 5 to 6 days, maybe longer. I use these fantastic reusable silicone tops rather than using plastic wrap, cling film. Plastic top goes on, I let a little bit of air out, and it's got a lovely tight seal. Homemade ricotta.